Hey guys, welcome to Plan and Order. I am super excited for today's video because I am going to reverse plan how the first day of school went for us. And it went really well. We need to work on time management a little bit, but it's the first day of school, so I try not to use the first day of school as my baseline because there's obviously stuff that we do on the first day that we don't typically do, like pictures and things like that. So aside from that, we also had state testing. We have that Monday through Thursday this week. So that also is going to play into the time management. But aside from the time management and the state testing, everything else went really well. I wouldn't say I was nervous, but I guess there's always a part of me that is waiting until we get some curriculum under our belt to see how it's actually going to jive, because I can pick curriculum based on my daughter's learning style and feel really comfortable with it, but once you get it into practice, it could go the opposite of how you think it will go. So we used a new science curriculum and a new social studies curriculum, and both of them went so well, which is very exciting to me because those topics really tend to bore her and lose her interest. Even when I try to make them really aligned with her interest, it still is usually, we still have had a struggle with those two topics every year. But so far, first day done, and everything went great. Everything went great. I am super excited. So now I'm going to reverse plan, and I thought I would take you guys along with me and show you guys what we got done in our first day of homeschool. Okay, so the first thing that we did was our warm-up, and I'm gonna kind of be looking over at Trello to kind of keep my thoughts in order. So I'm not gonna put like her chore and checklist down on here, or calendar. I think the only thing that I'm gonna actually reverse plan that's in the actual warm-up is her handwriting, word of the day, and poem, because I do want to keep track of the poems that we read. And so for handwriting, let's see what she did. Okay, she worked on O's. Handwriting, she did page 88, and she worked on O's. And then for word of the day, I'm writing kind of awkwardly because of how my camera is set up. I think I need to work on making my camera bend to my will as opposed to me bending to my camera's will, because I'm a big sideways writer where the book is usually completely sideways. Okay, so for word of the day, I guess I don't really need a book because she would have written it in here. She did temperature. And for poetry, we're doing Where the Sidewalk Ends, Shel Silverstein. Oh, this book is so old and creaky. I'm kind of nervous we're going to ruin it. Okay, so we did invitation. And we did the acrobats. Okay. And that was warm up. Okay. So next she did typing. I always put that in the elective. And she did home row, lesson 1, ASDF. And for grammar, she did EIW, lesson 1, which I don't really have anything to show for that because I already filed it away. They had to write a composition about themselves. They watched a video. It's just a couple-minute video, like introducing them to the year and letting them know things are going to get a little bit more real in 4th grade, and then write a little composition sharing 2 descriptive things about them, about their personality traits, to a new student that you're hosting. And then you take that and you rip it out and then you file it in a time capsule. And so, like, I already have it filed away. And then at the end of the school year, you pull it out and you kind of compare it to the work at the end of 4th grade, so you can see the improvement and progress you've made in writing. So that's already been filed away. But basically, they read this page and then did that piece that I already ripped out. Foreign exchange student. I couldn't think of what it was. So you're housing or hosting a foreign exchange student, and you're kind of writing a description about you to the foreign exchange student. So that was grammar. Then she had spelling. Okay, so she did word study, page 54, and and this is where they have to sort the words in following the directions. So 1 through 8 are the spelling words that have the long I that's spelled with the I. 9 through 15, the spelling words that have the long I but spelled with the IGH. And so she does that in her spelling notebook. And that's how every unit in this curriculum starts. Every unit starts with that word study sort list. And then she did connect to phonics. Page 55. And reading. Which is all about reading, and we did lesson 9. For math, she did lesson 1.1, review multiplication. For science, she read Article 1 and then it did the article assessment, which is 3 questions. And then Article 2. And then same thing, the article assessment questions. And that was her science for today. And when we did Article 2, we pulled out the measuring tools that we read about. So the different rollers and measuring tape and beakers and graduated cylinders, syringes, and we kind of got familiar with those. She's already pretty familiar with that stuff. And then they do also cover this stuff in math too, so a lot of it was review. But, you know, that's just kind of how they kick off the curriculum, because those are the tools we'll be using as we start doing experiments. So, week 1, Article 1, Article 2, and assessments. And then for social studies, it was darn near the same thing. We did Article 1 and Article 2. And in this one, they go in and they highlight the vocab words also. And so I have gel highlighters that she can use on this thin newsletter type paper, and it won't bleed through. They're also called Bible highlighters. And I think that's where I got the idea from. Somebody who was doing a planning lesson, and I think they were highlighting in a Bible, and I was like, oh, if that does not bleed through that paper, then it probably won't bleed through this paper. So that was one of her first day of school gifts that we gave her, was these really pretty fun gel highlighters that she's going to use in both her social studies and science curriculums on these newsletters. So she read the articles and then did the assessments to go along with them. And then she also completed a worksheet that is labeling if a source is primary or secondary, since that's what Article 2 was about. So, put Geo for graphic organizer, primary, secondary. And then she had nothing for VAPA today, and so I usually will gray this out. Let's see if I can find my gray highlighter easily. And that wraps up our first day of homeschool. It was a really good day. I'm really excited with how today went. I'm really excited with how all the curriculum went. And I'm looking forward to the rest of this week. And I'm really looking forward to next week when we don't have state testing. And I actually am going to note that somewhere on here. I'm not sure how I want to note that on here yet. But I like to note on here when we do state testing as well. If you liked this video, like and subscribe. And I will try to get on here and reverse plan as much as I can. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But today I was really excited with how the day went, and I was going to reverse plan anyways, and I was like, well, I might as well just try to film it amongst all the chaos in my household. Anyways, have a good night, guys, and I hope your first day goes just as well. Bye.